Like...
Yeah, I can't.
Like, because it's fucking ridiculously bad, it kind of makes it scarier. But the thing that I don't like about the original miniseries, 1997, was it 7? Yeah.
Drop that bomb, yeah.
Oh no, it was 1990. Gross. Was that it was too focused around Tim Curry as Pennywise.
That's true.
Because, like, I feel like with a book like it, because Stephen King has an amazing ability to write very, very detailed works that have very, very strong emotional ties to each character. When you put it in, like, the form where it was, like, focused on the clown being scary, it took away so much from the book. Whereas this version is, like, the book.
Totally. I think that... Well, I mean, I don't blame them for going for Tim Curry, like, you know, centric with that whole first one, though.
But I mean, that's so 90s, though, isn't it? Like, a lot of it is open-ended, which I love, I think. Again, as we was talking on the way home, the most important character, I think, in a film
is the audience. Yes.
Yeah,
and
so if any film can involve the audience, then that is, like... That's
great.
Done.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what this It did.
I think, yes. Great segue. Now we can talk about the new It movie.
Here we go.
So yeah, we just went and saw the new It movie, obviously. Hence the title of this video.
Should we sit down and, like, talk?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's have a convo.
Go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing fuck!
Yeah, first of all, let's just talk about Jaden.
Ah, he's so good!
My boy.
Oh my, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, which is probably something that he gets a lot.
Her?
That sounds about right. Lima Her.
I think it's Lima Her.
I'm just gonna call him Lima.
Probably butchered his name, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be watching this, so that's okay. I think he can deal with
never
that.
ever just gonna watch us.
Jaden was really amazing. His acting, I think, we agreed,
the best.
Was the best out of. I think the best out of the whole movie definitely has to go to Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, just because everything that he's done has been like, kind of. Dramas, like, I don't know exactly, I can't quote you what movies he's in, but especially like the Skarsgård family typically does dramas.
Yeah, totally.
But this role was so
different for them, I think.
It was so whack, like it was just all over, it was a fucking clusterfuck.
And like he's not in the movie for a whole lot, but his presence is definitely felt throughout the whole thing, even when he's not there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, very
incredible.
Back to Jaden, though, as I was saying, his acting, to me, I think, is the most subtle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the other kids, I guess, obviously, the more extroverted of the group, and he's a little bit more internalized because of, like, obviously what's happened to him.
Yeah, like, he wants to find Georgie.
Yeah, but I also think, as I've read the book, have you?
No, I have not. So you have that knowledge, and I don't. That's great.
Because in the book, although Bill is the main character, it's not really, like, from a first-person point of view. But the way that Stephen King explains Bill to be, I think, is Jaden had the closest resemblance to how the character is in the book. Well, I feel in the book, it's very, like, there's the kids, and then there's Jaden, because Jaden's been through a lot. Like, Bill's been through a lot. So... his character obviously is going to be more mature, and that was very, very, very well, but very subtly
presented throughout the film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a credit to the director.
Yeah, and him as well, and the writing as well. Everything.
The script, oh my gosh.
I was about to talk about the script and how natural it was, like in terms of the writing, and like you have scripts these days that they're just scripts, they're not like good. Like this is very real, and it represents kids. Like real kids from today that you look like I can picture these people on the streets, like people I know.
Exactly. I love this because I feel like in other films that involve children, they're not allowed to be how kids actually are. Like it's not that we have like what we think kids are. Like it's just that kids are kind of made to be inferior in a lot of films. Like they're just the kids, they're just the one, like
that kid character.
They're just the kid character, like that's what they are. I was saying before, I think to you, I don't know, like ages ago, that like as an adult you can be like anything. You can be like an astronaut or a teacher or a doctor or anything. Like you can play all of those parts, but as a kid in movies you're a kid. But in this I think it does a really great job of giving the kids a voice and like making their voice valid.
Yeah, as you were saying, like kids are like usually portrayed as like just that bumbling, like, hi, I'm here along with the adventure, you know, I'm just that, like they're just not great.
Kids also, have like the best minds. Kids don't have institutionalized mind. They haven't been like touched by any of that. You have to do this. They're just like literally straight chilling, doing whatever they want.
Yeah,
like,
I think children are a good way. Like, I think that they have a good point of view of everything, of the story. And
especially with a story with so much emotional
and
depth.
I think
Children are perfect.
that's like the way to go with movies sometimes. I think maybe more children roles.
Yes, more children in movies, please. That would be perfect.
Let's go back to the actors.
Actors.
Who do you want to talk about
Should
next?
we I feel like we've just mumbled.
Yeah, we have, but
Should we start again?
No.
And then
No, let's just go with the children.
Okay, let's go down the list. So, why would you do that?
Stranger Things.
Straight out of Finn Wolfhard. I feel like he must get really annoyed when people be like, Stranger Things!
But that's like the only thing he's been in other than
literally,
this.
but he was very good.
Definitely brought that humour, that heart. I don't know, what role do you think you're more attracted to out of the two roles that he's done?
I like the character of Mike better. I think Mike is just
Totally,
like...
yeah, I think...
He has so much, he goes
more.
through a lot more. Like,
yeah, he has more to play with there, I think. I think more people might be attracted to maybe his It character because he's more funny, but I think in terms of like the character that has more depth and just is a better character, it's...
Yeah, his personality on Instagram is a lot similar, more similar? Has a greater similarity to his character in It, Richie,
totally.
than his character in Stranger Things as Mike, which is also what I like as an actor.
That's also good though.
I really appreciate
the
fact that he can really put himself into somebody else.
Let's talk about Beverly, because she was fantastic.
Beverly, and that was Sophia Lillis as Beverly Marsh.
Oh, she was great. She was very
Now, let me say,
subtle in her performance.
when I say that I love this girl,
You do.
it's like the most pure love you can imagine. Again, I'm not gonna pretend like I know them at all, but from watching interviews and stuff, she is the most like sweet little introverted, like little mouse. She's so cute. She's the outgoing one. Ooh, hot. Great job, darling.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I was watching the review before from Grace, and one thing that she mentioned, oh my god, shout out to her, she's amazing.
I love Grace so much.
Oh my god, I love her. Anyways.
The full review on Grace coming up, everyone.
She's never gonna see this. And Sophia, yeah, she was great. Grace, the point she made was that she's very, like, subtle in her acting, and, like, a lot of her acting is done just through her looks and her
little
face.
winks.
Yes.
The winks that she does.
And, like, just the way her face, like, moves, like, little micro movements in her face can tell so much more than what she did.
Exactly.
with,
We were
like,
talking
words,
on the way
right?
home about when they do the blood oath, and how everyone else does those, like, winces, and then she just kind of, like twitches.
And that gives, like, so much more depth as
Yeah, and, like, I mean, you can take away from that however much as you want. Which is, again, another thing about this film, the fact that the audience can take away as much as they want, because it's so... We are so involved in it. The Andy Machete does an incredible job of involving it. Everybody on production has done an incredible job of that.
Totally.
Script writers, actors, directors, everybody. Assistant directors.
I forgot
Penny and Richard, the assistant directors, give them a shout out. Chosen Jacobs as Mike, who was... I think, again, with a character who is kind of one of the smaller of the Losers Club.
Yeah.
But still, his character has an impact, you know, like...
Still has a presence.
I've noticed that in the background of a lot of the shots, some of the other kids are, like, a bit flat, but he's always reacting and always on. And it's just, like, he's making the most out of being there, which is really great. I love him a lot.
A good actor is one that can react.
Exactly. React. Jack Grazer as Eddie. Who is just hilarious. I love Eddie
so great. He's me.
I just want to hang out with him. Like,
he's such a funny dude.
I just, I think if we're gonna talk about, alright, bye.
No, keep fucking talking.
I think if we, again, are talking about how these characters and these actors play such a great group of 12 and 13-year-olds as far as their personalities, I think Eddie has the best 13-year-olds thing, you know? Like
That's why I went to go.
Get it? Because Eddie is a puffer.
Get it? No.
Him and Finn, I think they're kind of like let on in the movie to be like this best friend kind of role. And they do an incredible job of being two 13-year-old best friends with their like, with the birth control pills thing. They're just so funny. I think together Like, as much as Jack and Finn are amazing actors, if they hadn't been able to bounce off each other, like, if they hadn't both been incredible actors, it would not have been, like,
and,
as smooth.
yeah, obviously the chemistry between all of these actors was
absolutely amazing,
fantastic.
but especially I think in like a few of the pairings, like the most prominent one for me was between Finn and Eddie.
Who's next?
Wyatt as Stanley. He was good. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, that's all I have to really say though. Like, no, he's good, and I think he was well cast. It's just that he's not heavily present.
Again, I'm gonna be the book nerd. In the book, Stanley's kind of the outsider of the Losers Club. One thing that I love that I think is just so perfect for his role is we need to put like a spoiler alert in a minute. But when they find that Mike is being beaten up by the bullies and they all go to help him, when they drop their bikes, everyone drops their bikes, and then Stanley puts his up on the stand, and like all of these bikes are on the floor from the kids, and then he like takes the time to put the stand down. And like it's the little things, like you can think that
timing as well.
His character is to be not there, like he's not meant to be like the Eddie or the Richie, and he does a great job of that. Yeah.
Totally.
So great job, Wyatt.
Yep, good job him.
Moving on to Jeremy. I don't know his last name, but he plays Ben.
He had really good interactions with Beverly. They had good chemistry, and you could really feel that, like, his, I guess, heartbreak a little bit. It's really showcasing a realistic relationship between teens today, and it's not like the whole typical, like, oh my god, I love this person, so do you. You're like, it's not how it's usually portrayed. It's very kind of subtle once again, and like it's just through the looks and the glances that they give each other that you really feel the emotion.
The thing that I love about Jeremy's characterization of Ben is that he's so, even though like he cops shit for being fat, or like he gets called tits, or he's like
yeah, like I'm not one for bullying, but that's really funny in the way they delivered the lines.
But and the way that like he's a nerd too, like he's a fat nerd, and that's what people see him as. But he is so like proud of that, and you can see like when they're in his room and they are like going through, and Richie goes, no, nothing cool here, kind of nerdy, and then Ben goes, no, actually it's really interesting, especially with being the nerd kind of thing. I love that he still owns that despite being like shit on for it. He's like, well, no, I find this interesting, so I'm gonna do it, you know? And I think that was a really great subtlety with Jeremy's acting. Also, I don't know his full name, but Jackson, whatever his name is, as Georgie.
Oh, yeah, of course. He's so adorable. So adorable.
Oh my gosh, that kid
is great.
I don't know how old he is. He looks like 7.
He looks 7 years old.
Even like at the start with Billy, the interaction between that, so brotherly, perfect. And then like at the end when Georgie is like talking to Bill and saying like, why didn't you come get me? I was scared. The acting from Jackson as Georgie for a kid, again, like I hate to say for a kid because kids are amazing. Movie sets are scary. Hanging out with other kids that are older than you is scary. Hanging out and like being around a 6'4" man dressed as a clown with 5 rows of teeth is scary.
That's scary.
And he still is like, you can just tell he like reeks of being a professional actor and a good one at that, and that is incredible. And I hope he goes very
good on his
places.
parents for like putting him in this.
Special mentions, I don't know the actor's name or the character's name, but Bev's dad.
Oh yeah, he's one creepy dude.
Incredible at the creepiness, and
like,
I feel like he's not going to get a lot of credit
recognition
for this role because he's a role that
people won't get to, obviously.
Yeah, and same with the bullies, but they were all great too. Okay, so now we want to talk about 80s stuff.
No, we're going to talk about the cinematography. This is a beautiful movie to look at.
It's so pretty.
It is so beautiful, and like this is what I aspire to do. Like this is how I want to shoot a movie, and I feel like this should be the standard of like all movies, and like the way that it'll just like ease into a Dutch angle, and like those like
like when they're going through the tunnel at the start, and it like has it at the end of it. The first thing we like sat down, all the ads had finished, and then it opens with the piano music playing, and then like the rain coming down, and that 80s script, and the title, and the first thing he says is, oh my god, The title is so beautiful. Like, even the title is
Orgasmic.
like beautiful.
Yeah, visually pleasing to look at. Like, there's not like one scene where I can be like, that was really shoddy and bad. Like, every shot is meaningful and it's just dripping with an ooze of beauty. Oh my god, so gassy. Sweet mama. Direction was brilliant. Haven't seen any film with Andy. Not that I've seen him because he's not in the movies, but like, he's directing them. I haven't seen any direction from this guy before, but now I do because he was absolutely fantastic.
Talking about like who was going to play the Losers Club in
The sequel?
The sequel. We kind of discussed the idea of them being like
unknown actors. I think that'd be the good fuck off. Like, I can't think of anyone that can really fit the role. I can think of people who look like the characters, but like, are they really that character? And will they embody the role? Like these kid actors, these great actors. They're just actors. Like the way they embodied these characters was just so magnificent, and I don't think anyone that I can really think of right now in the industry could do that. I mean, I'm sure they're very capable of it, but just, I think maybe they should go for a mix. Audience involvement, great. This movie makes you think rather than spoon feed you with information that a lot of movies do today. They just give you all the information rather than making the audience invested into the movie.
And again, with the S word, the subtlety of the movie creates an idea where you can put yourself into it, because not everything is spelled out and you get to put your own thing into it. As we have agreed before, the audience is the most important character. So we're very included in this, which is great to see.
Fucking up.
Verdicts.
Yeah, mate. Alright, yeah, no, this movie is absolutely brilliant. I think that it's a masterpiece to look at. Visually stunning.
Masterpiece in general.
The acting is great. The little character interactions are brilliant, and the script, a lot of that has to go towards the script, because the script obviously fucking wrote this movie.
I wonder who wrote the script.
Let's look it up, because
we'll
put their names at the bottom, because
great job, and confetti and stuff.
Because they're not recognised.
They're not recognised, and whoever wrote this script, I don't know if it was directly from Stephen King. It wasn't. But great job.
I think he was a producer.
Perfect. It was great. It was perfect. Out of 10, I give this movie a strong 8.5. I think that it was just almost perfect. I hate the word perfect, but in all categories, I really can't floor it on too many things.
I think I would give the movie a 8.75.
Always gotta one-up me.
I think it's very close to being... Well, it really is, but I just don't want to give it that.
9 is a very strong
I'll go ahead and give it.
I love this movie.
9. It's a 9 out of 10.
8.5 to 9.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
Great job to everybody involved in it.
Thanks for watching.
I hope I'm in the sequel.
Me too.
I hope I'm like one of their kids. Can I be like Richie's kid in the sequel?
Yeah. Or we can replace them.
Yeah, no, I'll be actually Eddie.
Oh, can we just quickly talk about fucking the mum? What's the
Oh yes! Oh my god! Eddie's mum, dude!
So funny. Her hand actions were perfect.
Oh, she was so good. Just a little.
I want a spin-off movie with her.
I need to know who that woman is, because oh my god, she. She
reminds me of my mum. I have a picture of my mum for side-by-side comparison.
Oh my god, yes, do that.
I'm sure.